Hello, everyone. Let's embark on an extensive journey through the history of North Korea. One of the most enigmatic and controversial countries in the world. From ancient kingdoms to the modern-day regime, we'll explore the events and figures that have shaped this nation. Grab some snacks, sit back, and join us for a comprehensive look at North Korea's past and present. North Korea, officially known as the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, has a history rich in cultural heritage, conflict, and political transformation. Our journey begins over 2,000 years ago, with the ancient kingdoms that once thrived on the Korean peninsula. We will trace the evolution from these early civilizations through the tumultuous Japanese occupation in the 20th century, the devastating Korean War, and the rise of the Kim dynasty that continues to rule today. We will delve into the lives of influential leaders, examine pivotal events, and uncover the ideologies that have defined North Korea. From the introduction of Juche, the policy of self-reliance, to the nation's nuclear ambitions, we will explore how these elements have impacted both North Korea and the wider world. Understanding North Korea requires a look at its historical context and its significance on the global stage. Geographically, the Korean peninsula has been a crossroads of cultural and military conflict, influenced by neighboring China and Japan. This strategic location has made it a focal point for power struggles throughout history. In the modern era, North Korea's pursuit of nuclear weapons and its isolationist policies have kept it in the international spotlight. The regime's human rights record, economic challenges, and military provocations continue to provoke global debate and concern. Despite its isolation, North Korea has a profound impact on global geopolitics. Its relationships with powerful nations like China, Russia, and the United States influence diplomatic and security policies worldwide. Understanding North Korea's history helps us grasp the complexities of these international dynamics. To bring this history to life, we'll use a variety of visuals, including maps, archival footage, photographs, and reenactments. These visuals will help you understand the geographical, cultural, and political evolution of North Korea. Stay with us as we unravel the story of North Korea, a nation with a past as complex as its present. Whether you're a history buff, a student, or just curious about this secretive state, we promise you an engaging and informative experience. So let's dive into the ancient roots of Korea and begin our journey through the complete history of North Korea. Let's go on our journey through ancient and medieval Korea. In this segment, we'll explore the fascinating history of Korea before the 20th century, starting with its earliest kingdoms. Our story begins with Gojoseon, founded by the legendary figure Dangun Wanggeom in 2333 BCE. According to myth, Dangun was the son of a god and a bear woman, symbolizing Korea's deep-rooted connection to nature and spirituality. Gojoseon was known for its advanced bronze culture and strong central government. Moving forward in time, we encounter the three kingdoms, Goguryeo, Baekje, and Silla. Goguryeo, the northernmost kingdom, was famous for its fierce warriors and formidable fortresses. Baekje, located in the southwest, was a hub of culture and trade, sharing close ties with China and Japan. Silla, initially the smallest, eventually unified the Korean peninsula through strategic alliances and military prowess. Each kingdom had its unique culture and achievements, but they also faced constant conflict with each other and external forces. Let's dive deeper into the mythical stories that shaped Korea's early history. One of the most captivating legends is that of Dangun, the mythical founder of Gojoseon. According to legend, Hwanung, the son of the heavenly god Hwanin, descended to Earth and married a bear woman who had transformed into a human after enduring trials in a cave. Their son, Dangun, founded the first Korean kingdom, establishing a legacy of divine heritage. These myths not only reflect the ancient Koreans' beliefs, but also their connection to the natural world and the divine. Life in ancient Korea was rich with cultural and technological advancements. The people engaged in agriculture, trade, and craftsmanship. Goguryeo was known for its impressive tomb murals, which provide a glimpse into their daily life, from hunting scenes to festive banquets. In Baekje, the influence of Buddhism flourished, leading to the construction of magnificent temples and the development of sophisticated art and sculpture. Silla, after unifying the peninsula, saw the creation of the stunning Bulguksa Temple and the Seoguram Grotto, both UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Technological advancements were also significant. Koreans developed advanced metallurgy, producing remarkable bronze and iron artifacts. The invention of movable metal-type printing during the Goryeo dynasty is a testament to their ingenuity. Ancient Korea was shaped by significant wars and alliances. The Goguryeo-Sui Wars, for example, were monumental conflicts where Goguryeo general Ulji Mundeok famously defeated a massive Chinese army. Key figures also played crucial roles. King Sejong the Great of the Joseon dynasty, for example, invented the Korean script Hangul, revolutionizing literacy and communication. Queen Sondeok of Silla was another remarkable leader who not only strengthened her kingdom, but also promoted Buddhism and culture. These events and leaders left an indelible mark on Korea's history, shaping its identity and legacy. After the unification under Silla, Korea entered a period of cultural flourishing. The unified Silla period saw the spread of Buddhism, which influenced art, architecture, and daily life. The Goryeo dynasty, which followed, is renowned for its Celadon pottery, Buddhist scriptures, and the creation of the Tripitaka Koreana, a comprehensive collection of Buddhist texts carved onto wooden blocks. Finally, the Joseon dynasty, lasting over 5 centuries, established a Confucian state with a structured bureaucracy. This period saw numerous innovations, including the invention of the rain gauge and advancements in astronomy. Confucianism deeply influenced Korean society, shaping its values, education, and governance. From ancient myths to remarkable technological advancements, Korea's history is a rich tapestry of culture, conflict, and innovation. Stay tuned as we explore the fascinating developments in later periods. Japanese occupation, 1910 to 1945. We're diving into a crucial period in Korean history, the illustration depicting the Japanese occupation of North Korea from 1910 to 1945, highlighting the scenes of occupation, resistance, and the impact on daily life. In the early 20th century, Japan was expanding its empire and saw Korea as a strategic location. After defeating Russia in the Russo-Japanese War, Japan solidified its influence in Korea. In 1910, Japan officially annexed Korea through the Japan-Korea Annexation Treaty. This treaty wasn't agreed upon by Koreans, but was forced upon them, marking the start of a difficult era. The annexation was met with strong resistance from Koreans. Many protested, and some even took up arms. The international community, however, largely remained silent, as Japan was becoming a powerful nation. Life under Japanese rule was harsh. The Japanese government implemented policies to exploit Korea's economy. Koreans were forced into labor, working in factories, mines, and on farmlands, to benefit Japan. This exploitation led to widespread poverty and hardship. Culturally, the Japanese tried to erase Korean identity. Korean language and traditions were banned in schools, and people were forced to adopt Japanese names. But the Korean spirit was not easily broken. Secret schools taught Korean language and history, and cultural traditions were kept alive in homes. One significant event was the March 1st movement in 1919. Thousands of Koreans took to the streets demanding independence. The Japanese response was brutal, but this movement sparked a sense of unity and hope among Koreans. Despite the oppression, the Korean desire for independence grew stronger. Key figures like Kim Gu, Syngman Rhee, and An Chang-ho emerged as leaders of the independence movement. They organized efforts both within Korea and abroad to fight for freedom. The Korean Provisional Government was established in Shanghai in 1919 to coordinate these efforts. Many resistance fighters, known as independence fighters, carried out guerrilla warfare against Japanese forces. One of the most inspiring figures was Yu Guan-sun, a young student who became a symbol of the resistance after being arrested for her role in the March 1st movement. These brave individuals and their actions kept the hope of independence alive. The end of World War II brought significant changes. Japan's defeat in 1945, following the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, led to the end of its colonial rule over Korea. The global shift in power dynamics and the Allied victory set the stage for Korea's liberation. However, the transition to independence was complex. Korea was divided along the 38th parallel, with Soviet forces occupying the north and American forces the south. This division would later lead to further conflicts, but also mark the beginning of Korea's journey towards self-governance. The Japanese occupation era was a time of great hardship, but also incredible resilience and bravery. All right, now let's continue with our channel Time Back Loop. Now I am getting everyone to explore one of the most pivotal periods in Korean history, the division of Korea and the Korean War from 1945 to 1953. After World War II, global powers met at the Yalta Conference to discuss the post-war order. One of the decisions made was to divide Korea along the 38th parallel, with the Soviet Union occupying the north and the United States occupying the south. This division was supposed to be temporary, but soon became permanent, leading to the establishment of two separate governments. In the north, Kim Il-sung, a Soviet-trained communist leader, rose to power. He established the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, North Korea, with support from the Soviet Union. In the south, Syngman Rhee, an anti-communist leader backed by the United States, became the first president of the Republic of Korea, South Korea. These contrasting ideologies set the stage for future conflict. The division of Korea created tensions that eventually erupted into war. On June 25, 1950, North Korean forces, backed by the Soviet Union and China, crossed the 38th parallel and invaded South Korea, aiming to reunify the peninsula under communist rule. The initial battles saw North Korean troops pushing South Korean and U.S. forces southward, capturing Seoul. However, the tide turned with the daring Incheon landing, led by General Douglas MacArthur, which allowed UN forces to recapture Seoul and push north. International involvement played a crucial role. The United Nations, led by the United States, sent troops to support South Korea. Meanwhile, China entered the war on the side of North Korea, sending hundreds of thousands of soldiers to fight against UN forces. This international involvement transformed the Korean War into a global conflict. Amidst these battles were personal stories of bravery and hardship. Many veterans recall the harsh conditions, fierce fighting, and the profound impact of the war on their lives. The Korean War caused immense devastation. After 3 years of brutal fighting, an armistice agreement was signed on July 27, 1953, effectively ending the war, but not the conflict. The agreement established the Korean Demilitarized Zone, DMZ, a heavily fortified border that still exists today. The war's impact on civilians was profound. Millions were displaced, families were torn apart, and countless lives were lost. Personal stories from survivors highlight the hardships and resilience of the Korean people during this time. The armistice brought an uneasy peace, but no formal end to the war. Korea remained divided, with both sides rebuilding their nations amidst ongoing tensions. The legacy of the Korean War continues to shape the Korean Peninsula and global politics to this day. The Korean War was a tragic and transformative period in Korean history. It reshaped the nation and left a lasting legacy. Stay tuned as we continue to explore Korea's journey through the challenges and triumphs of the 20th century. Let's explore the era of Kim Il-sung, the founding leader of North Korea, who ruled from 1948 to 1994. Kim Il-sung rose to power after World War II with the support of the Soviet Union. In 1948, he established the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, North Korea, and became its first leader. One of his key contributions was the development of Juche, an ideology centered on self-reliance. Juche emphasized independence in political, economic, and military affairs. It was implemented in various ways, from promoting agricultural self-sufficiency to reducing foreign influence. Kim Il-sung also created a cult of personality around himself. Through propaganda techniques like posters, songs, and grand monuments, he was portrayed as a heroic and almost divine figure. This propaganda had a profound effect on North Korean society, fostering loyalty and obedience. Under Kim Il-sung's rule, North Korea undertook numerous industrial projects to strengthen its economy. Large-scale initiatives, such as the construction of factories, dams, and collective farms, were launched to boost production and self-sufficiency. However, these projects often faced challenges and did not always yield the expected outcomes, leading to economic difficulties. Political repression and control were central to Kim Il-sung's regime. The government maintained strict surveillance over the population, with an extensive network of informants and secret police. Political purges were common, targeting anyone seen as a threat to Kim Il-sung's authority. These purges created a climate of fear and ensured strict loyalty to the regime. Kim Il-sung's influence extended beyond his death in 1994. His Juche ideology continued to shape North Korea's policies and governance. The country remained isolated and self-reliant, adhering to the principles Kim had established. The cult of personality around Kim Il-sung persisted, with his image and legacy being deeply ingrained in North Korean society. His son, Kim Jong-il, succeeded him, continuing many of his father's policies and maintaining the regime's strict control. Kim Il-sung's era left a lasting legacy on North Korea, influencing its political, economic, and social fabric. The Kim Il-sung era was a defining period in North Korean history, marked by strong ideological control, economic challenges, and significant societal impacts. Join us next time as we explore the continuing legacy of the Kim dynasty and its influence on North Korea today. Kim Jong-il Era, 1994 to 2011. Kim Jong-il continued to rule North Korea after his father, Kim Il-sung. His leadership was marked by significant challenges and crises that deeply affected the country. One of the most devastating events during Kim Jong-il's rule was the Great Famine, also known as the Arduous March, which began in the mid-1990s. This famine resulted from a combination of economic mismanagement, loss of Soviet support, and natural disasters. Millions of North Koreans suffered from severe food shortages, and it is estimated that hundreds of thousands to several million people died. The international community responded with humanitarian aid, but the regime's reluctance to accept help and its misallocation of resources worsened the crisis. Personal stories from survivors highlight the extreme hardships faced by ordinary North Koreans during this period. Kim Jong-il also pursued an aggressive nuclear program. The development of nuclear weapons was seen as a way to ensure the regime's survival and to gain leverage in international negotiations. This program began in earnest in the late 1990s and led to North Korea conducting its first nuclear test in 2006. The international reaction was swift and severe, with widespread condemnation and increased sanctions. The pursuit of nuclear weapons had significant consequences, further isolating North Korea and exacerbating its economic problems. Kim Jong-il's regime was characterized by severe repression and human rights violations. The government maintained tight control over every aspect of life, with a network of prison camps and extensive surveillance. Many North Koreans were imprisoned for political reasons, often without trial. Testimonies from defectors reveal the brutal conditions within these camps, where torture, forced labor, and executions were common. Isolation from the world was another defining feature of Kim Jong-il's rule. The regime's strict policies limited external influence, severely impacting the economy and the daily lives of ordinary citizens. North Korea's economy stagnated, and access to information and goods from outside the country was extremely restricted. This isolation deepened the population's hardships and further entrenched the regime's control. Kim Jong-il's era was marked by profound challenges and severe repression, leaving a lasting impact on North Korea. The Great Famine and nuclear ambitions reshaped the country's trajectory, while human rights abuses and isolation defined the daily lives of its people. As we move forward, we'll explore how these legacies influenced the leadership of his successor, Kim Jong-un. Join us next time as we delve into the current state of North Korea and its place in the world today. All right, now let's examine the current era of North Korea under Kim Jong-un, who has been in power since 2011. After the death of Kim Jong-il, his son Kim Jong-un quickly consolidated power. Despite his youth and relative inexperience, he moved swiftly to establish his authority. High-ranking officials were purged, and key figures loyal to him were placed in positions of power. This transition period was marked by a mix of traditional displays of power and modern approaches. One of Kim Jong-un's key policies has been focusing on economic changes and technological advancements. He introduced economic reforms aimed at improving the country's dire economic situation. Special economic zones were established to attract foreign investment, and there was a noticeable push towards developing technology and infrastructure. Kim Jong-un has continued North Korea's focus on nuclear and military capabilities. Under his leadership, North Korea conducted several nuclear tests and launched numerous missiles, showcasing its growing military strength. These developments were part of a detailed timeline of tests and provocations aimed at solidifying North Korea's status as a nuclear power. International summits and negotiations have been a significant part of Kim Jong-un's strategy. Meetings with world leaders, including historic summits with South Korean President Moon Jae-in and U.S. President Donald Trump, brought temporary hopes of denuclearization and peace. However, the outcomes have been mixed, with ongoing tensions and limited progress. Military parades and demonstrations have been used to display North Korea's military prowess. These grand events are not only a show of strength, but also a means of reinforcing internal control and boosting national pride. Despite the regime's focus on military strength, the daily life of ordinary North Koreans remains challenging. The economic reforms have brought some improvements, but many people still face hardships. Access to basic necessities like food, healthcare, and education is limited, and the government's control over information and movement is strict. Testimonies from defectors provide a rare glimpse into the realities of life in North Korea. These stories reveal the extent of government surveillance, the lack of freedom, and the difficulties of daily survival. Propaganda and the cult of personality continue to be powerful tools for the regime. The Kim family is glorified through media, education, and public events, ensuring loyalty and compliance from the population. Kim Jong-un's leadership has seen significant developments in international relations. Historic summits with South Korea and the United States have been high points, bringing moments of optimism for improved relations and potential denuclearization. The summits with South Korean President Moon Jae-in led to agreements on reducing military tensions and increasing cooperation. The meetings with U.S. President Donald Trump were unprecedented, marking the first time a sitting U.S. president met with a North Korean leader. These summits focused on denuclearization, but faced challenges and setbacks. Sanctions imposed by the international community have had a significant impact on North Korea's economy. Despite these sanctions, North Korea has continued to pursue its nuclear ambitions. Diplomatic efforts by various nations continue in hopes of finding a peaceful resolution to the ongoing tensions. Kim Jong-un's era has been marked by a mix of aggressive military posturing, economic challenges, and significant diplomatic efforts. As North Korea continues to navigate its path under his leadership, the world watches closely. Later, we will explore the future prospects of North Korea and its place in the global community. Let's take a moment to recap the incredible journey we've explored. From the ancient kingdoms of Gojoseon, Goguryeo, Baekje, and Silla, we saw Korea's rich cultural and historical roots. The Japanese occupation, 1910 to 1945, brought tremendous hardship, but also sparked a fierce spirit of resistance and a longing for independence. The division of Korea after World War II set the stage for the Korean War, 1950 to 1953, a devastating conflict that left the peninsula divided along the 38th parallel. In the north, Kim Il-sung's era, 1948 to 1994, saw the establishment of the Juche ideology, strict state control, and the creation of a strong cult of personality. Under Kim Jong-il, 1994 to 2011, North Korea faced significant challenges, including the Great Famine and a continued focus on nuclear development. The regime's repressive policies and isolation from the world had severe impacts on its people. Today, under Kim Jong-un, 2011 present, North Korea continues to grapple with economic difficulties, military ambitions, and complex international relations. Despite these challenges, the country has made strides in technology and infrastructure while maintaining strict control over its population. North Korea's journey is a story of resilience, struggle, and the ongoing quest for identity and stability in a complex world. Looking ahead, North Korea's future remains uncertain. The regime's focus on military power and nuclear capabilities continues to be a central issue in international relations. Economic reforms and technological advancements could pave the way for gradual improvements, but the government's tight control and isolationist policies present significant challenges. As global dynamics evolve, North Korea's interactions with other nations will play a crucial role in shaping its future. Will there be a breakthrough in denuclearization talks? Can economic sanctions lead to meaningful change? Only time will tell, but the resilience and determination of the North Korean people will undoubtedly continue to shape their nation's path forward. Thank you for watching and joining us on this journey through North Korea's fascinating and complex history. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth explorations of world history and current events. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so leave a comment below with your questions or insights. Stay tuned for our upcoming videos, where we'll dive into other intriguing topics, from the history of South Korea to the impact of global diplomacy in the 21st century. Your support helps us continue to bring you quality content, so don't forget to hit that notification bell to stay updated on our latest releases.